Good morning from the Johnson Space Center. This is Mission Control Houston. You're looking at the International Space Station Flight Control Room once again as a team of flight controllers watches over all of the systems aboard the International Space Station. The team today being led by Flight Director Ed Van Cise. Once again, he is watching over this team throughout much of the daytime hours as his team is part of 3 teams that watch over the station systems around the clock. He's joined by Jay Marshke, who is handling a communications link, communications efforts between this team and the crew on board the International Space Station as well.
That's one of the reasons why it's good to have you guys look it over.
That crew on board the station is made up of 3 crew members. One of those, U.S. astronaut Don Pettit. He's serving as flight engineer number 6 as part of the Expedition 31 crew. He's currently working on an experiment that will take a good bit of the rest of his day. Efforts on that experiment ongoing real-time, the burning and suppression of solids experiment known as BASS. He's working directly with the principal investigator, Paul Ferkel, who is telerobotically taking part with him, looking over his shoulders as we are, as he operates this experiment. Ferkel has a PhD and is with the National Center for Space Exploration Research in Cleveland, Ohio. Along with Pettit, his other 2 crew members, Commander Oleg Kononenko is operating in the Russian segment of the station. He's also spending some time doing some housekeeping chores in the U.S. segment, cleaning some filters as they periodically have to be checked to make sure that nothing is blocking the airflow or the flow to any of the other systems on board the station as well. Also on board is André Kuipers from the Netherlands. He is serving as flight engineer number 5 of the International Space Station. He is continuing with his efforts on what's known as the Energy Experiment, sponsored by the European Space Agency. It essentially is an experiment designed to help measure long-term space effects on astronauts' energies in space. So he's taking different types of measurements associated with that experiment as an ongoing effort, and Pettit also is taking part in that experiment as well. Those 3 crew members have been on board the station now for 140 days. They've been in space for 142 days since their launch on their Soyuz spacecraft back in December of 2011. They will be joined in the next week or so by 3 new crew members that are preparing for launch to the International Space Station. They're at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. In the center, Gennady Padalka, who serves as the Soyuz commander, but he's also going to be the Expedition 32 commander. He's joined on the left by Sergei Revin, cosmonaut colleague, and on the right by U.S. astronaut Joe Acaba. Their Soyuz spacecraft will be integrated with its rocket on Saturday and rolled to the launch pad on Sunday ahead of its launch to the International Space Station, scheduled for 10:01 p.m. Central, 11:01 at night Eastern Time on Monday. Following a 2-day rendezvous, they expect to dock with the International Space Station on Wednesday, with that docking scheduled for May 16th, just before midnight Central Time and just after midnight Eastern Time on May 17th.